People think product design is just about drawing.
Or just vibes?
No, let's show them how we actually do it.
My name is Martiniji. I studied mechatronics engineering and I do design.
My name is Isaac Priscilla and I am a mechanical design engineer with background in mechanical engineering.
My name is George Ifiokabasi. I am a product designer at Innovate Hub.
So how it started is I've always wanted to build something. I've always wanted to have a product on my own. I started sketching. I started looking into rockets. I started looking into cars. I started looking into electronics, consumer electronics, right? Then I decided to look up the internet and see how to start this journey of making a product.
So how I ended up in product design is from secondary school. I was good at technical drawing, so most people thought I would tilt towards architecture. But I enjoyed physics, I enjoyed science, I enjoyed chemistry. So I tilted more towards engineering. And in university, I was always fascinated by manufacturing processes. More so, I was fascinated by design. And then I came across someone who was very good in CAD tools, and I started learning CAD. And yeah, that's why I'm here.
I started out as a mechanical engineer. I graduated from the University of Abuja. And since then, I have been, passionate about creating things, right? How do things work and how do you go from an idea to a functional product that people can use? So I decided to chase that with my life, and that has brought me to the position of a product designer at Innovate Hub.
First thing I do when I get a new idea is I sketch or I type it down. So most of the time I'm always on my phone. If I can't sketch it, I just type it on my phone.
The first thing I do when I get a new idea, for me personally, is documentation, because for some reason I like my things arranged, and then before I move into sketching. So documentation helps me get what is required for that idea, and then it's easier for me to sketch.
First thing I do is try to write it down if I can't draw it at the time, right? It's always best to do a quick sketch, right? So the idea sticks, and then I can take it further, explore different versions of the idea.
The role of a product designer. A product designer is meant to translate ideas into the physical form. So we are like the bridge that we take the ideas that comes from anybody, the client, the participants, and then we translate them into the physical product. The product designer is actually very important because they are the first step to product development. So in the product development process, the product designer is meant to take the ideas that is coming out from the participants and then translate it into sketches and 3D models that will be sent to other departments to create the product. So without having personnel or the designer in a team that does that, you wouldn't be able to create the 3D models and make the product, either using 3D printing or fabrication. The product design cuts through so many fields. If you're a specialized product designer, you might focus on designing mechanical device. But here in Innovate, we design anything that comes. So the expertise has to be with understanding manufacturing process. There is what is called design for manufacturing. every manufacturing process has its limits, its best approach in design. So for each of these manufacturing process, whether you're doing a wood design or you're doing a 3D printing design or you're doing a design for metal fabrication, you have to understand the constraints and the limitations of this manufacturing process and design with that in mind. You also have to be very good in communication because you'll be speaking with the client, you'll be speaking with other departments. So the product design lab is actually one of the only labs that interact with almost every other technical lab in Innovate. So we collaborate with electronics departments, embedded systems, 3D printing, woodwork, recycling departments, all of them. So you also have to be very good with sketching because this will also help you in your communication of how you communicate the ideas with the client. You have to be good with color, understanding the best color for each approach. You have to be understand the basics of different engineering processes and practices. For example, you have to have a little bit of understanding on how to create agricultural products, understand the limitations understand things you have to put into consideration for that. You also have to be familiar with other, whether it's basic electronic cases that you're doing or whether you're doing a product that has to do with kits or a medical device. All of this, the product designer has to understand each of the constraints in these industries, the safety requirements in all of them, and put them into consideration. You also have to know how to do design for assembly. Every design that you are doing will have to be assembled by someone. So you have to think of how that design will be put together and also how each part of the design will be fabricated. Not just to say, okay, this will be fabricated with metal. So when you are doing it, you have to understand the limitation of the fabricator and how they will be able to approach fabricating that part of the design. That's mostly the things that you have to know to be able to be a good product designer.
Last year, I won a speed modeling tournament, the first of its kind in Nigeria. But I think what I would qualify as the most significant milestone in my life would be seeing products that I have designed come to life, being used by customers and serving their purpose. Innovate Hub has provided a platform where I can explore what it means to design things, right? To be an engineer, to take ideas that are in someone's mind and then give them form, and at the end of the day, see the process through to bringing those products to life as a prototype. I think that's the most beautiful thing I have experienced.
Milestones worth mentioning in product design. I mean, there are a lot. I would talk about improvements. We've improved our process here, creating systems on how we interact with other departments, whether it's the electronics or the 3D printing departments or the fabrication departments. Another milestone based on the process and the systems we set in place is having a well-structured standardizations on how to approach different designs and different parts. And we're also exploring new developments in design softwares, like incorporating AI, doing the conceptualization and ideation stage for each of the products that we are doing. And that's it.
Sketchbook or laptop?
Oh boy, laptop.
Pen and paper or digital tools?
Digital tools.
Function or aesthetics?
Aesthetics.
User needs or technical feasibility?
User need.
Prototype fast or research more?
Prototype fast.
Fail early or perfect later?
Fail early.
Cardboard or 3D print?
3D print.
Solo designing or team critic?
Team critic.
First idea or 10th idea?
First idea is well.
Constraint or total freedom?
Total freedom.
Sketchbook or laptop?
Laptop.
Pen and paper or digital tools?
Digital tools.
Function or aesthetics?
Function.
User needs or technical feasibility?
Technical feasibility.
Prototype fast or research more?
Research more.
Fail early or perfect later?
Fail early.
Cardboard or 3D print?
3D print.
Solo designing or team critic?
Team critic.
First idea or 10th idea?
10th idea.
Constraint or total freedom?
Constraint.
User feedback or gut instinct?
User feedback.
Fail early or perfect later.
Fail early.
Cardboard or 3D print.
3D print.
Solo designing or team critic.
Team critic.
First idea or 10th idea.
10th idea.
Constraints or total freedom.
Constraint.
User feedback or gut instinct.
User feedback.
Design thinking or trial and error.
Trial and error. At Innovate Hub, we don't just teach product design. We teach people how to think, fail, test, and build again.
And argue respectfully.
Made in Nigeria by Innovate Hub.